Hurry in for 4th of July savings. Now get a low $259 per month lease on Rogue or get up to $1,000 bonus cash on select 2024 Rogue trims.
At Domino's, we know there's a lot of pressure to tip these days. Everywhere you go, there's a tip screen.
Great set, bro. Now take a look at this screen real quick. Okay.
And do you, Michael, want to answer one more question?
At a time when tipping can feel thankless, Domino's wants to say,
thanks for the tip.
By tipping you back. Tip your Domino's driver $3 or more online and we'll tip you $3 to use on next week's order. Only in Domino's.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times, but mostly times were just okay. And you know who said that? Susan B. Anthony.
Charles Dickens.
Susie.
We're not teachers. We're connectivity experts. If millions of communities rely on us for fiber, internet, and mobile, you can too. Optimum, where local is big time.
The Yankees pregame show on Yes is brought to you in part by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com.
With everything bigger in Texas, the American League now knows it will have a 6'7" slugger in the middle of its lineup for the upcoming All-Star game. After receiving the league's most votes in Phase 1 of voting for the All-Star game, Aaron Judge has officially been named a starter for the game at Rangers Globe Life Field. Juan Soto was a finalist at the outfield spot, and he'll continue on to Phase 2 of the voting. So I guess as we get to our key for tonight's game in this series, is it Judge? Is he going to get any pitches? Maybe that's it.
I'm going with an offensive key. I'm going trying to score first. You got to punch first if you're the Yankees. The last 7 games they've played, guys, the opposition has scored first. Not surprisingly, they've lost 6 out of those 7. When they score first this year, 33-10.
And for me, pitching sets the tone for everything. They're in a new series. They got to get things turned around. They need a series win. They've lost their last 4 consecutive. And pitching is the last 10 games, their ERA is over 7. Rondon needs to step up big for the Yankees here tonight in this first game.
We're going to find out if he does that as we get you out to Toronto right after this. It is Ryan Rucco, John Flaherty with the call, Meredith Barakovich reporting. We will see you on the postgame. Enjoy it. Game 1 of 4 coming up next on Yes.
One of these people brushes with Colgate Total Plaque Pro Release. It dissolves and lifts away plaque for 2 times less gum-harming plaque. As for the other guy...
Sarah, good luck.
Be dentist-ready with Colgate Total.
Cleaner energy future.
This is for you.
For you.
For you.
For you.
This is also for you.
For you.
I was waiting for you.
What's going on?
If I could just show you.
There's 2 of you.
Yes.
Yes, we need you.
Away we go.
That's totally classic.
One of my personal favorites.
We have everything. This is for you.
There's nothing chill about a hot, sweaty line. Unless you add Mountain Cold refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Arby's has let other burger joints have their little fun. Playtime is over. The meat professionals will take it from here. Arby's, we have the meats.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. And your Ford dealer is the place to start. With a full lineup of vehicles and available powertrains. Get your ideal combination of power and capability with gas, hybrid, or all electric. But more important than the power you choose is what you choose to do with it.
Right now, get the Ford Edge with 0% financing for 72 months, plus $4,000 bonus cash, only at your local Ford stores.
The Cancer Institute at Northwell is solving the most complex challenges in healthcare. More cancer experts, more groundbreaking clinical trials for people like Tanya. Northwell is raising health for more New Yorkers with cancer than anyone.
on an all-new Home Plate New York on the Yes app. Get a showcase of Harlem's soul.
And I feel like the Globetrotters goes hand in hand with Sylvia's because they make food for the soul and we play basketball for the soul.
The Harlem Globetrotters join Chef Marcus Samuelson at the world-famous Sylvia's restaurant. Streaming now exclusively on the Yes app.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Yes.
It is a spectacular summer evening in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And the fans filing in for some baseball as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the Yankees against the Blue Jays in the first game of a 4-game set from Rogers Center. Hey everybody, Ryan Rucco alongside John Flaherty. So happy to be with you this Thursday evening for Yankees baseball on Yes. Yankees come here after a late night at Citi Field, dropping a couple of games to the Mets. They turn to Carlos Rodon tonight as we take a look at the Home Depot getting it done pitching matchup. You see the numbers on the season for Rodon are strong. Same can be said for Jose Barrios. Barrios has struggled over his last few starts. We know Rodon has as well. John, what is the difference between when Rodon is going well versus what we've seen the last 2 outings?
You know, Ryan, we know that Carlos Rodon is a fastball pitcher. He lives and dies with this pitch. When he has life, when he can elevate it in the zone, he's going to get some swings and misses. When he doesn't have life and he doesn't locate, it can end up in the seats. That's what has happened to him his last 2 outings. Fastball command has not been great. The Red Sox and in this game, the Braves, they made him pay the price.
And the rotation in general has been paying the price after being an enormous strength to begin this season. The last 7 starts since Garrett Cole's debut, the rotation has pitched to a lofty 9.58 ERA. Meanwhile, the Blue Jays having a really tough season up till this point. They're in last place in the American League East. But one guy we know can hit always, and he really has been of late, Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
You know, Ryan, the one thing that we know about the Blue Jays in the past, they can really swing the bats as a club. This year, not so much. It's pretty much been Vladdy Guerrero. Everybody else has been dealing with injuries. They've not been performing offensively. But Guerrero, when you make a mistake, out over the plate, has plenty of power. 10 home runs on the year. He's always been a run producer, and he's the one hitter in this Blue Jays lineup the Yankees are going to want to pay attention to the next couple of days. And by the way, he's got good numbers against Rodon coming in.
You see what he's done over his last 9 games, heating up with a .359 batting average, 3 homers, 10 ribbies, and an OPS over 1,000. Well, the Yankees' top of the order has been getting it done all season long, really. We'll see Volpe, Soto, and Judge. Lineups, first pitch in baseball, coming up next on Yes.
Discover customer service.
One of these people brushes with Colgate Total Plaque Pro Release. It dissolves and lifts away plaque for 2 times less gum-harming plaque. As for the other guy...
Sarah, good luck.
Be dentist-ready with Colgate Total.
Will and I are honored to have you all here as our summer interns.
Affleck and Damon, the Dunk Kings, are not here.
What does that big Dunkin' Ice button do?
Let's see. Okay. A lot of surprises.
Let's put a Dunkin' Ice in every hand this summer.
For years, one company has battled to deliver business products the next day with no freight charges. Now, WB Mason, with their famous fleet of trucks and drivers, faces their biggest challenge, rescuing shipping and packaging buyers from expensive freight charges. That's right. Now, boxes, stretch film, and packaging tape are delivered the very next day at amazingly low prices. So, who do you call for fast delivery and no expensive freight charges? Who but WB Mason?
We're all thinking about survival in day one. If a patient isn't going to respond to the standard therapy, then we owe it to that patient to come up with a treatment plan that's going to work for them. I was drawn towards the brain tumor patients because it is such a debilitating set of diseases. But we are putting our best minds together from both the scientists and the doctors. And we are finding out more and more about each disease. And what we've seen is a population who are actually having more curative therapy than what we had seen before. That's going to allow these kids to flourish and thrive. We're moving in the right direction. We're with them and we're fighting this.
Horrible migraines, body chills, debilitating pain, dangerously high fever and fatigue that leaves you bedridden. Sound like a bad day? Well, what if it was your whole year, decade, your entire life? For those suffering from chronic Lyme disease, it is. Yeah, Lyme disease. Trust me, you don't know the full story. We are Global Lyme Alliance. We have answers, we have hope, we have help.
Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by FanDuel. Knock it out of the park every day with FanDuel. Right now, all customers get a bonus or a boost every single day, all summer long. Buy Buick. Visit your local tri-state Buick dealers and buy the New York Lottery. Get out there and play. Well, we see Aaron Judge, who just moments ago was officially named to his 6th American League All-Star team, the leading vote-getter in the majors. And as the leading vote-getter in Phase 1 in the American League, he is assured a starting position. So congratulations to the Yankee captain. Yankees and Blue Jays getting ready for the first of 4 in Toronto. Let's take a look at tonight's Yankees starting lineup, brought to you by TikTok. Anthony Volpe leading off, followed by Juan Soto, Aaron Judge, Alex Verdugo batting cleanup. Ben Rice back in there batting 5th. Jahmai Jones gets the start at 2nd, with Gleyber Torres getting another day on the bench. Austin Wells, Oswaldo Cabrera, and Trent Grisham round out the Yankees starting lineup.
Well, that lineup for the New York Yankees going to face the veteran right-hander Jose Barrios, just starting his warm-up tosses. And you see the numbers on the year, and they are very solid. Let's take a look at our Nissan pitcher scouting report on Barrios. His first 13 games off to a great start, but the pace has slowed down. His last 3, an ERA of 6.48. And a big reason why, the K rate is down and the home run rate is up. He's given up 17 home runs. That's 2nd in Major League Baseball. Has been throwing his changeup a little bit more, and it's a good pitch for him. A 118 batting average against.
Let's check out the defense behind him, presented by Defender. Davis Schneider in left, Dalton Varsho in center, George Springer in right, Ernie Clement at third with Bo Bichette at short, IKF, old friend, at second, Vladito at first, and Alejandro Kirk is behind the plate. Let's take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by your local Kia dealers.
Well, there's got to be more than a two-man show for the Yankees. It's been Soto and Judge. The rest of the lineup has to contribute. And speaking of Judge, great numbers against Barrios coming in, a .414 batting average with 4 home runs. That includes the postseason, so that's a matchup to watch. And if you're looking at the other side, just stay away from Vladdy, the big bat in the middle of the lineup.
Love that shot of the sun as Judge was coming up out of the dugout.
I thought you were going to say you love my keys.
Well, I loved your I loved your keys as well. I did. And we are underway with strike one. Anthony Volpe swinging through a 93-mile-an-hour four-seamer. We know the Yankees looking to get back on track after dropping a couple at Citi Field, struggling over the last couple of weeks. That is tip foul, 0-2. Yankees have lost 4 straight series, 5 of their last 6, after they had lost only 3 of their first 22 series.
Yeah, Ryan, I think Aaron Boone has said it perfectly. This is the grind of a big league season. Times like this happen. It's how you respond here in the first game of the series against the Blue Jays.
And one of the things that he talked about before the game was that he loves the feel in the room, even as they've gone through this, and said it reminds him of the way the room has been, even as they've been red hot, that there's just been a focus and not dwelling on results, good or bad, from this group, as Volpe starts the game off with a single to center field.
I said in the Keys it's been a two-man show, Soto and Judge. Well, Volpe has contributed in a nice piece of two-strike hitting there and a slider down and away, just flipping it right back up the middle. Yankees have gotten off to quick starts in the first inning the last couple of days, but have not been able to cash in.
Here's Juan Soto. I remember yesterday in that first, that bases loaded, one out when Verdugo hit into that double play. And there's a strike on the outside corner at the knees. 0-1 to Juan Soto.
Well, the one thing to watch in this game, and I mentioned the first 13 starts for Barrios were outstanding, a 2.8 ERA. His last three he struggled, but two of those games against Cleveland. And Cleveland has a lineup loaded with left-handed hitters, and he had a little bit of trouble navigating that lineup.
Jeremy Rehak, the home plate umpire. Take a look at the scouting report. Pitcher friendly. More outside strikes, more low strikes in his 7th season. And it's 2-1 on Soto.
Yeah, there's that changeup that he likes to throw, 118 batting average against, but Barrios also likes to run that fastball in on the lefties, bring it back to the inside corner, but he's been getting beat with that pitch. He might stay away from it here to Soto.
Soto pops it up off third. Clement just in foul ground makes the catch for the first out. Let's take a look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow, the official hot tea of the Yankees. Boy, it feels like June in Toronto, and that is a good thing, John, because June in Toronto is glorious. 68 degrees, a nice crisp air.
You see that shot right there of the high sky in Toronto when the dome is open?
Yeah.
Did you see me like?
I actually did.
I actually flinched over here.
You really did flinch, and I was thinking, oh no, does John not like 68-degree nights? Judge drives that in the air to right field and deep. Springer on the track in the corner with room makes the catch for the second out as Judge gives it a ride, and a bid for number 31 but comes up just short. So how about that high sky that George Springer just had to look in?
Well, every time I came to Toronto, we wanted the Sky Dome back in the day, the Rogers Center now to be closed, Ryan, because pop-ups in this stadium were a nightmare with the high sky. And also Meredith talked during the pregame show about which way the wind was blowing. It's not the easiest place to get a feeling for that. So I feel for Kirk behind the plate. I feel for Wells on the Yankee side, because when those pop-ups go up with the roof open and the high sky,
it's an adventure.
Go get them. Good luck.
Here's Verdugo. Broke his 0 for 22 with a couple of singles at the end of last night's loss to the Mets. And 2-0. He's ahead here on Barrios.
You know, I'm glad you brought that up, Brian, because the Yankees really need him to get going. They need Glaber to get going when he gets back in the lineup, and they need protection, especially for Aaron Judge, because it's getting to the point, why would you pitch to him if you're an opposing pitcher?
Or you feel the loss of Stanton so badly because he had been so productive as that third bopper lurking in the lineup.
Now, obviously, early in games or maybe late in games when you have a big lead, you come right at him. But if there's any big spot in the middle to the late innings, you'd just expect opposing pitchers to pitch around Aaron Judge.
And Verdugo had been having a really nice, solid offensive season before this skid over the last week or so. After he had that huge game in Boston and his return to Fenway. That misses away, and it's 3-1 on Verdugo with the rookie Ben Rice on deck. Let's see if Anthony Volpe's on the move here with his 15 stolen bases. You trust Verdugo. If he gets a pitch to like, put it in play. If not, you take your walk. Doesn't look like he's going anywhere. And he takes his walk. Verdugo on, and the Yankees once again with a couple of base runners in the first. This time it's first and second, 2 out, and Ben Rice coming up. One thing that has been clear through Ben Rice's first 8 games is he has a good feel for the strike zone, really strong plate discipline.
And this is an interesting matchup here. Barrios, a veteran pitcher who likes to have a history with opposing hitters. There's no history between these two. Does he come right at Rice or pitch to him carefully early in the at-bat?
Misses there carefully. 1-0. Rice still seeking his first extra base hit. 6 singles through his first 8 big league games. Takes that one down the middle, 1-1. John talked about the Yankees have had good numbers against Barrios. 5.21 ERA against them in his career. And a check on Volpe. Rice skies that into shallow left, down the line. Clement makes the catch. Thought he was being called off, then realized Schneider wasn't going to go for it and got back to it in time. You'll see Clement pull up, says, oh, you got it? Oh, you don't? Okay, I do. Inning over.
That day is here. Yankees, Red Sox. And let's do it. He's got a lot. See ya. Into the bullpen. A home run for Judge. Ground ball. Excellent play to start the game. Strike 3.
Swings and misses. Drilled to left field and deep. Gleyber Torres, a blast.
That's the way we're going to start this game. I like it.
Colgate Total Plaque Pro Release dissolves and lifts away plaque for 2 times less gum-harming plaque. So you're dentist ready.
Mr. Walker. Oh, am I early?
Be dentist ready with Colgate Total.
No. Good job, Junior. Let them go.
Illumination's Despicable Me 4. Rated PG.
Yankees threaten, don't score in the top of the first. Let's take a look at tonight's Blue Jays starting lineup. Brought to you by TikTok. Bo Bichette having a really rough season leading off. Then IKF, who's been hot of late, bats second. Gladito hitting third, also been hot. Justin Turner, George Springer, Davis Schneider in the middle of the order, followed by Dalton Varsho, Alejandro Kirk, and Ernie Clement.
Carlos Rodon on the bump tonight in Toronto. Just finished up his warm-up tosses. There in the numbers on the year. We'll look at our Nissan pitchers scouting report. Had a tough time against Boston and Atlanta. 13 runs, 12 earned against those 2 clubs. And the big reason why, having trouble with the heater. The fastball has been turned around, and because of that, he threw more changeup his last game. 21.5% changeup. So maybe we see that pitch a little bit more tonight.
Talked about the struggles of Bo Bichette this season. He has struggled even against lefties, hitting just 140 against them this season. That is not the norm for Bo Bichette, who hits that hard on the backhand. Volpe can't grab it, upset with himself. It's going to be a leadoff single for Bo Bichette.
Bichette spent some time on the IL with a calf strain, but he's always been an aggressive hitter. Hunting that first pitch fastball that I mentioned has been turned around.
The last couple of outings against Rodon, you see Anthony Volpe frustrated he can't come up with that backhand. Even if he did, off balance would have been tough to make an accurate throw across the diamond. Here is Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Takes a strike. IKF hitting .378 during a 10-game hitting streak. Signed a 2-year, $15 million deal with Toronto back in December. And take another look at Volpe laying out full extension and then showing the frustration, thinking that could have been a play that he might have been able to make. Well, you understand why he's frustrated, John, because it feels like he makes every single play over there. As we check out the defense presented by Defender, Verdugo in left, Grisham in center, Soto in right, Cabrera and Volpe on the left side, Jones and Rice on the right side, and Wells behind the plate with Judge DHing. 1-2 on IKF as that clips him. A hit batter, and the Blue Jays set up here with first and second, nobody out. Yeah, and the way the last two outings have gone for Rodon, this is the last thing you want to see happen here. A two-strike slider off the back foot. Now you have traffic out on the base paths, first and second, for the hottest Blue Jay hitter in the lineup. I believe this was in your scouting about Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and this is the one guy you'd want to avoid. Hard to here with first and second, nobody out. Wow. Call the ball. 1-0. A cutter up in the zone that actually looked bigger than we've seen from Rodon. So coming around it a little bit more, Ryan. Monster hack and a miss on 97 upstairs, 1-1. Well, that's going to be the separator tonight, is the fastball, the life, and the location. If he can get the swings and misses on that heater that he had the first 10, 12 starts of the season, he'll be all right. Runners start and stop as Rodon, perhaps a little distracted by it, looking back almost before the finish of the delivery. And yeah, this is why Austin Wells, you said, was trying to get him to take time. Instead, it's ball two. Bichette had a running lead. Broken bat, that is fair and down the right field line. Bichette is going to score easily. IKF to third, going to take a big turn and hang on. It is an RBI broken bat double for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and an early 1-0 Toronto lead. Well, this is just the way that it's been going for Carlos Rodon, and I guess you could also say the New York Yankees lately. A slider, a shattered bat, a good pitch, soft contact, and perfectly placed down the first base line. It's going to be extra bases. The Blue Jays get on the board, and things are happening quickly here in the first against Rodon. Think about the way this inning developed to a ground ball that Volpe nearly fields, a hit batter on a 1-2 pitch on a back leg breaking ball, and then a broken bat double. Infield in with second and third, nobody out, and ball one from Rodon. Well, Ryan, it's human nature if you're Rodon out on the mound to be thinking, here we go again. Yeah. Right? My last two have been rough, off to a tough start here, but you got to find a way to regroup, make a pitch in a big spot, get through this first. Cued slowly down the first baseline. Yeah, that's just the way it's going. Turner is safe. Run scores. It's 2-0 Blue Jays.